Hello, everybody.
And we are live.
Happy Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. date night with the Stallion family. Everyone's doing very well.
Got a buzz.
Hey guys, Stallions
Fat
live.
Stallions live. What? No way.
What?
Those guys sound like a bunch of chumps.
I don't want to watch their stuff. I think a couple of the Stallions are feeling a little under the weather.
We're dying.
Gonna scoot away from the sickness.
Oh
no! I'm just gonna hold my breath for the entire
Jack
day.
lives
Just quarantine himself right in here. So, just been pounding water and vitamin C.
And tea.
Yeah, try and be as healthy as possible. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Drinking as much beer as I possibly
As
can.
much.
Yeah. When I get sick, I eat Cheetos and drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
That solves all my problems.
So tonight, dramatic.
We are young, so I'll set the world on fire.
Yeah, so today we're talking about people who set really good examples and who are inspiring to other people and who have inspired us to do what we do with our life and be the kinds of people that we are. Luckily, I grew up in a situation where I never really doubted my ability to be a performing musician. My grandpa is an amazing musician and had a cover band that played in Wyoming for a long time. He got asked by Roy Orbison to be his lead guitar player at one point in time, and he turned him down. It's okay, though, because if he'd taken it, I don't think I would exist. So, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Details.
But before I even remember things, he put me on a microphone, so I learned to hear myself really quickly. I grew up in the mountains with a jukebox that had, like, Joan Jett telling me that I could be an awesome rocker lady if I wanted to be. It, like, never even crossed my mind that, like, I couldn't do exactly what they're doing, which is pretty cool. And then I got older and started listening to my own music, and one of the first, like, grown-up CDs I ever owned, my Aunt Maureen burned for me, and it was Gwen Stefani, No Doubt. I looked up to her a lot, too, just, like,
She's rad.
and I tried very hard to sound like her for a long time. She's got some crazy vibrato, man.
I try and sound like her when I sing, too, but she has too much red lipstick.
Riley's over there just like piling it on. Like the first like conscious inspiration that I got. I was pretty young, and I don't even know what it was. I don't know what concert it was. I don't know who was playing. I don't know the name of who it was. I don't know who I was with. I assume it was my mom and dad, but it could have been whoever else. Probably my mom and dad. There was a drummer in that group, and I remember watching and seeing, or not seeing, just this blur of his hands as he's playing this kit, and like this awesome, like thunderous, just like confident, like sound, and like this cool, and it's just that feeling of like experiencing a live drummer for the first time. You know, I don't even know, maybe like this tall or whatever. And like I'm like,
little light.
that's what I'm gonna do. And like now it's been a lot more kind of like reflection about like, well, like we're pursuing something that means a lot to us, that got us on a road to a career that lots of people think is completely illegitimate, and frankly that's silly. Like whatever you want to be, you can be, but you have to be looking at the right role models. If you want to be a banker, you should be kind of being inspired probably by bankers, and
Bless you.
and just blow your brains out on sneeze and get there, figure out how you're going to do the same thing that they're doing, you know? So that's kind of just all I've been trying to do since that first little experience.
Very cool. Next.
Gonna die now.
There has been a lot of really great people and a lot of great influences in all of our lives and in all of these different places, but it's just a question of who do we want to talk to? Who do we want to talk about, rather, right now?
Yeah.
And I guess one person that comes to my mind, and I was actually talking to her about this last week while I was up in Evanston for the WMEA conference, Dr. Nicole Lamartine. She's probably the reason that I am singing. I avoided singing and vocal stuff for a long time because I didn't have a lot of natural ability with that, and I was teased a good amount growing up because I didn't have a very good voice. But when I started singing in the Singing Statesman at UW, she gave me a lot of support, made me a section leader, and helped me a lot with my voice, and gave me a lot of the confidence that made me feel like I could be a singer. And that's where we are now. So
two of the people that have influenced me the most are my parents, always pushing me to be the best I can kind of thing, you know. And if there's something I want to do, that I should go for it. If there's a Wilkes, there's a way. Another person that's influenced my life is Jesus Christ, you know, just being the best person I can be, you know, trying to treat everyone the best I can, you know, being as helpful and kind as I can, you know. My earliest memories in regards to people that influenced me with music goes back to when I was like maybe 7 or 8, when we were living in Wichita, Kansas. There was a family that we knew that had older kids, you know, they were in their teens, you know, I was 8, but, you know, they were super good to us. And we would go over to their house and everything, and one of their kids was a guitar player. He invited my friend and I to come upstairs and check him out and watch him play guitar. And I remember I was like terrified at first, because like, you know, he goes up and he had like this teeny little amp, you know, maybe like this big, just kind of sitting on his windowsill. He plugged it in and he had it cranked up really loud and he played the Star Spangled Banner. And I thought it was rad. I thought it was the coolest thing. But then I would say like the spark happened, like that I knew I wanted to be in a band. I knew I wanted to write music. Came when I was like 9 or 10, and we would listen to the oldies stations. And when the DJ started talking about the Beatles and stuff, you know, I asked my parents, I was like, well, who are the Beatles? And they gave me a CD. I started listening to that and I couldn't put it down. You know, I saw a video of them playing the Ed Sullivan Show. And that was kind of like one of the first moments where I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I want to do that.
I want to do that.
Another big one for me, as far as like motivation and like helping me kind of figure out why I was drumming. Because it was like after I was drumming for a good handful of years, I got into high school, and my band director was he was really hard on us, and he was like extremely critical. And like, you know, and like, of course I've got this big ego and I'm like the best drummer and whatever it is. And like, I'm playing and I'm doing my thing. And I sucked. I wasn't very good.
Like most high schoolers.
I think most of us
like most high schoolers, because my ego was so big, I couldn't like handle it. You know, all pissed off one day, and I went home and I was talking to my mom about it. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is bullshit.
You don't know what he's talking about.
Eventually, my mom's like, well, you know, just like think about it. Like, if you really don't want to do it, like you could drop it. And so I ended up thinking about it for later that day, and I was like, you know, like, why am I even drumming anyway? I'm not drumming for my teacher. I'm not drumming for my parents. I don't drum for any of these other reasons. I drum because like I like to drum. And I drum because it's like what makes me feel good, and that's what like how I express myself, and that's how I make music, and that's what I really enjoy and I really love and I care about. You know, it was a lot easier. I got back to school, and then the criticism from my teacher didn't bother me anymore, and I started just accepting, you know, he doesn't really have any agenda to be a dick to me. He just wants me to improve. So it's like, oh, well, when he says your technique looks like garbage, maybe I should just actually try to improve my technique.
There
like,
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like just mind-shattering concept.
Well, I think that's a really important aspect of the creative process in general. Whether or not are you playing music, are you practicing everything that you're supposed to because someone told you to, or because you want to improve the things that you're working on?
Mm.
And that, you know, like individual whatever it might be doesn't really matter as much. It's about the message that you're trying to convey with what you're trying to do. Did that make any sense at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Slipknot came from a small town in Iowa.
Yep.
Do you think they fit in?
Be yourself, because someone else is already taken.
Yes.
That's what we love. It's nice to be able to talk to you guys and get to know you a little bit, get a little glimpse into who you are. See you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello friends, Jack Elliott here from the future. We lost all of our audio for this section here, so I have no idea what we're saying. Do you know what we're saying? I don't know. We're pointing at you, saying something. I said something funny. Emma laughed. Doesn't matter. What really matters is that if you liked what you just saw, boop that like button. And if you really like all of the stuff that we're putting out, make sure that you subscribe so that you can tell every time that we put something out. We're going to put out a rehearsal video every single Monday and a date night video every single Thursday on our YouTube channel. Love you. Bye.